Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Alternative Jargon episode number 39. The Boston Celtics can win their 18th championship tonight. This is being recorded on Friday, June 14th, 2024. I'm not sure if they won yet. It's only 4 hours till game time. Not sure if this will come out today or tomorrow. Really don't know. A little bit behind this week. And there's a lot of stirring in the press about that. I apologize to my fans around the globe for the lateness on this one, but we are here, we're doing it. My prediction is that the Celtics are going to sweep tonight. I have $5 on it. We will see if I am on the right side of history or not in a few hours. I really wanted a better series, but I just honestly don't think this Mavericks team is going to get a single game on the Celtics, honestly. I really don't care who wins. I just really want a good series. I want more nights where I have an excuse to sit inside and look at a screen for 3 hours instead of doing something productive. That's always nice. When there's a really, really long, dramatic playoff series, it gives you so much time to be a fat slob. I'm doing it to absorb the tweets, to be involved in the community. I'm doing it because I want to be able to have a conversation at work about it tomorrow and sound knowledgeable. You can't just look at the box score. You have to sit down, look at game film, eat an ungodly amount of food, and really just soak up your couch cushions, leave a nice imprint in them before all is said and done. That is how a playoff series is done. I used to be a really big Celtics fan. I'm not really an NBA fan. Well, I'm an NBA fan. I'm not a fan of any team anymore. It's been a while since I've really been that passionate about basketball in that way. I think that one of the biggest things that got me out of the NBA, and this is going to be one of my boomer takes, is that there are too many trades and too much movement of players these days. You watch a team and every single year they're basically not the same team. That's my boomer take of the day. My other boomer take of the day is that Adam Silver has completely ruined the brand image of the National Basketball Association. Tradition means nothing in the NBA. And I'm not saying that nothing should ever change. That's not what I'm saying at all. But I think David Stern hit the NBA hardest where it mattered in a perfect way, and I think David Stern is rolling in his grave right now because Adam Silver has taken everything that was iconic about the NBA and just seemed to kind of throw it in the trash. Not everything, but when you have a couple teams, when you have the most historic, arguably, the second most historic franchise in sports in the United States of America, the Boston Celtics, the only one I can think of that would go ahead of them is probably the New York Yankees. One of the most iconic franchises in North American sports is not even going to wear a green jersey during the NBA Finals, when they might win their first championship in 16 years. Last time the Celtics won the NBA title, I was the same height as I am right now, but standing up, and the Celtics might not wear green jerseys. Those are my boomer takes. You should not be wearing your freaking City Association edition, special Nike, whatever the heck you want to call them. Get those out of the finals. Get the YouTube TV logos off the dang cord. Put the finals logo on there. Not everything needs a sponsorship patch. Not every single square inch of real estate that the National Basketball Association owns has to have somebody's logo slapped on it. They must really be hurting for money because they have sold their soul to a few companies in exchange for any amount of aesthetic pleasure for fans, players, etc. They have flushed all of that image down the toilet. And I know this is a really popular narrative right now, but I have felt this way for years. You can literally go back to the very first episode of this podcast 3 years ago and hear me make about the same rant. There for a few years, the NBA Finals logo was literally just bold, tall, and skinny typeface that said NBA Finals. Thank God they at least brought back the cursive script, but they're still missing 95% of the rest of what we all miss. It doesn't feel like the finals. And another thing I'll say is that this is not just the NBA. This is an issue all over the world. The minimalism pandemic. It doesn't help that the ESPN/ABC scoreboard that's on the screen also features sans serif font that just says Boston versus Dallas at the bottom. And, they don't even have a drop shadow on that thing. I could make a fancier looking scoreboard in 25 minutes on Photoshop if you gave me the chance. But unfortunately, they have not decided to do that. The old scoreboards used to make the logos really flashy and look like they were lit up. If you go back and watch the 2016 finals or the 2013 finals, I have a very specialized memory for different scoreboards of different leagues throughout the years, and I know which ones are great. I know which ones suck. We are in the trenches right now, and we need to bring back some flashy stuff. Not everything that gets made today needs to be in the most simplistic typeface you can find on planet Earth just so that it looks good across all mediums. The only medium that scoreboard's going to be on is in people's TVs. You don't need to design a logo for the scoreboard of the NBA Finals that will work on a press release. Make it look flashy because we're using our eyes to watch the game. Anyway, those are my boomer takes for the day about the NBA. Now I'm rhyming. And this is really bad timing. Let's talk about politicians wearing masks. This is something that I've been seeing a lot recently, especially pertaining to Joe Biden. Is Joe Biden being played by an actor? Are there multiple people playing Joe Biden? Are they wearing masks? Is Jim Carrey playing Joe Biden? This is the most popular one that I've seen. A few years ago, Jim Carrey did play Joe Biden on Saturday Night Live. I don't remember if he did good or not. I just remember seeing a picture of him dressed up to debate Alec Baldwin or whatever. Thank God he made it out of the set. The only shots fired were jokes that day. But yeah, people think that somebody is wearing hyper-realistic Joe Biden masks when, quote-unquote, Joe Biden does public appearances, press conferences, things like that. I will say I have seen some close-up pictures of Biden, like just his face, that do look kind of weird. Now, who the heck knows if this was made by AI? Who knows? But I feel like I can spot AI decently well, especially on really famous people who you've seen a million times, and you can immediately look at an AI-generated picture of them and go, okay, that just doesn't look right. I've seen 100 million pictures of Joe Biden over the past 3 years. I think I'd be able to pick out if it was him or not. But then wouldn't I also be able to pick out whether or not this was a mask designed to look like Joe Biden? And I'm going to get to that later. But Joe Biden is one of those people that does sort of look different from day to day. He's an old codger. He is not mentally well. He is, it's hard to put into words exactly what this guy is until you've seen him for yourself. Obviously, everyone in the world has seen him. He's the leader of the United States of America. But if I had to go back in time and explain to someone, even just 20 years ago, that our president would be in this bad a shape, it'd be hard to explain to them just how bad a shape we're talking. I might have to tell him, hey, your Gramps down at the home who, doesn't really, the wheels don't turn like they used to. It's like him. But there are a few things wrong with this mask theory and Joe Biden. And the first thing is that if they were going to fake and have somebody play Joe Biden for him, would they not act out a better job? Would they not, you know, put on a little bit of a show to make it look like he is actually making decisions and in charge of our country and competent. But to rebuttal this point, we all knew that Biden was really slow going into this whole thing, this whole administration. So now maybe they just have to keep up the act. It would be really suspicious if tomorrow Joe Biden came out, did a handstand, a cartwheel, and said, "Let's go, Joe, 2024." And then, whatever he would do, sniff Kamala's hair. That would be a little suspicious. We'd all go, this cannot be the same guy. I will say, though, that if by chance Joe Biden's being played by an actor in a mask, this would be the best role in the entire world to have. First of all, you really don't have to memorize any lines. In fact, if you forget your lines, you do an even better job. You get free ice cream. You could just rip farts on stage. You could load your pants and people would go, that's definitely Joe Biden. You could, before work, just go, I'm going to go down and get some Taco Bell. That will only help your performance. Where do I sign up for this gig, to be honest? Because that sounds way better than my current day job. That sounds amazing. I did scope out the usajobs.gov website. I didn't see any listings for this, so I guess the role is currently taken and in good hands because they are not allowing any openings for the role of our president right now. But no matter what happens, I'm going to keep my eyes peeled. No matter who wins this November, I'm going to keep my eyes peeled on that website. I have turned on notifications for a listing of that sort for their website. So if it opens up, let's just say you've got competition. If you had the same idea, I'm coming for your spot. So I would gladly take this job. I just want to know, what are the benefits like? Does it come with 401k? And do I have to clock out for my lunch? Those are my only questions that I have. But on a real note, they have some incredibly, scarily accurate face masks today. Latex masks. I see these TikToks from time to time of masks that you can literally click a link in someone's bio and go buy for a few $100, where some dude just puts on a skin suit. It starts at like the middle of your chest, and it's a mask that goes all the way up so that, the neck and everything look okay. But they put these things on, and the mask moves perfectly with your eyes, with your mouth if you talk. Let's just say you aren't going to find these at Spirit Halloween. By the way, this is what they have on TikTok. What do they have behind closed doors we don't know about? If some Joe Schmo with some, Chinese latex and some kind of mold machine can do this stuff, I'd love to see what our higher-ups in the government can make with this stuff. Whatever we have available to the public, they're always 10 steps ahead. All right. When the U.S. was getting their first television set, the government was able to, bomb through 20 meters of concrete and read people's thoughts. Probably. But they definitely have some good stuff out there. If this is what I'm able to see as a free walking civilian on TikTok, maybe that's why they want to ban it. Maybe they've actually stolen the Biden masks. I don't know. But, I would not put it past the government to use these things. Do I think the government would use a latex mask in front of millions of people to act as the president? No, I do not. I am simply doing this episode because it's something fun to talk about. Welcome to the show. I don't think they would use it in that high profile of a situation. Same with artificial intelligence. Because if it does leak, no one will ever trust anything again. You'll have people running at Joe Biden trying to scratch his skin off. It wouldn't end well. But do I think the government would use this in other areas of expertise? Abso-freaking-lutely, I do. If you think that they're not utilizing a mask for things like espionage or, other smaller things where they might have to, manipulate some things, absolutely, I bet they are. If I can put on a latex mask and transform into another human being while I'm undercover in Russia trying to hear Putin's conversation through an 8-inch oak door, I'm going to do that. I don't want to, if I get caught doing that, Lord knows what kind of torture device they're going to put me in over there in the Kremlin. The ones that we know about on TikTok, they're going to do the brazen bull. No, they have much, much, much better things over there, I bet, or anywhere in the world for that matter. We probably have better things than that. If they could make a good torture device in the medieval times, imagine what they have now with technology at our disposal. All right. The scariest the scariest torture device was from 500 years ago. No, they got something better now. Waterboarding's against the Geneva Convention or something? Yeah, okay. They definitely have some nice, awesome torture methods today. Things that you could probably not imagine. Things I can't imagine. I don't know what it is, but they definitely have something. They have to have something. But yeah, I think they're definitely using masks. Why wouldn't they? It'd be kind of fun to walk around as somebody else. And as long as other people don't touch the face or neck area of these people and look too closely at them, I think you could definitely get away with it. As long as you don't go, okay, this guy, this is a 5'10" Hispanic male, but his hands look like they haven't seen the light of day in a month. Little details like that. You'd have to have an actor that obviously shares the same skin color as whatever mask they're wearing. Okay, I could not go out there and pretend to be Barack Obama. The second I shake a hand, I'm going to get a gasp and people are going to it'll be like the Truman Show or something. I don't know. So unfortunately, this is a downfall of this little shenanigan is that, The Little Mermaid cannot be played by the black girl this time. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but if you're going to be doing espionage on the highest level, you got to match. I really hate to say it. You've got to pick the Band-Aid that blends in with your arm this time. Yeah. Another thing, if they were going to do Biden, that really makes this highly, highly, highly unlikely that they're actually pretending and acting out Biden, is that the voice and the mannerisms would have to be spot on. And that would just be nearly impossible. Once again, unless they have access to something we just don't know. Maybe they have instant text-to-speech through artificial intelligence on command. Who knows? And if that's the case, nothing is real anymore, and that's a terrifying reality. But this whole mask thing does not just apply to the government. It could apply to many things, like Michael Jackson. Is he still alive? It's one of my favorite theories of all time. That would be really awesome if he was still alive, and he's either rolling in his grave or he's rolling in his bed in Neverland right now because people are calling Taylor Swift the greatest artist of all time. I bet if he's still alive, he is itching to get back out there and show people what an ounce of talent actually looks like. I know he is for a fact. But if I was an ultra famous person and I had these masks at my disposal, I don't think I'd ever take them off. Yeah, I want to go to the grocery store and actually get to look at the bagels this time. I want to go to Starbucks without appearing in 25 TMZ articles. I want to go to a bar and actually go to the bar. That type of thing. if I was that famous, yeah, I'd wear the mask. So yeah, I do have a little bit of a reveal though. I've been wearing a mask this whole time. I've been running the Biden administration. So yeah, I wish that were true. If that were true, I'd hopefully have enough money to get a real microphone at this point and not be using the voice memos app. Maybe I'd have some real lighting, for God's sakes. I have a salt lamp and a ceiling fan. Maybe a couple more subscribers too. But that will about conclude our discussion on the mask thing. I'm sick of saying the word mask. I'm sick of saying the word Biden. And it's only June, guys. 5 months to go. A funny thing I stumbled on the other day was funny Peloton leaderboard callouts. So you're riding your bike. I guess they have these classes that you join and you have a username. And then if you do good, they call you out on the live class and yada yada. I think you get the gist. But this video features some funny callouts. Let's take a look. I'm not going to put it on screen. I'm too lazy for that. But we've got some funny callouts here, so take a listen.
Talia, happy 1000. You totally got me with that name. You totally got me with that name.
True people. No!
No mistakes. What is going on?
Loose cunt.
All right, so it's a very, 2009 Call of Duty lobby type joke. But I'm really impressed with this. And I really like it because this proves that out there are some rich people, some elites that do still have a sense of humor, which I was not completely aware of. Think about this. Who owns a Peloton bike? These things start at like $2,000, and I think you have to pay a monthly membership. And, you can go to Walmart and just buy a real bike for like, a tenth of that. But I imagine the people that own Pelotons, there's, a few different archetypes. First one, generational wealth, bourgeoisie people who went to an Ivy League school and now wear masks for the executive branch of our government and make a lot of money. People who want to stay in good shape, but if they leave their house to ride a real bike, they'll be attacked by swarms of cameras for their role in the Iraq War, for their role in the West Bank. They're a Mossad agent who sold secret weapons to help support the Iron Dome. And don't get me wrong, they supported Gaza too. They're on both sides. So they're really screwed if they leave their house. So get the Peloton, make a funny name. There's still some hope because the reformation of our world into a more peaceful place starts with humor. And if we can get the elites who sell weapons of mass destruction to both sides of every conflict to just make a joke every once in a while, to make an inappropriate joke on their Peloton ride in their penthouse, then we are moving in the right direction. These are the people, they attend the Boeing Hitman meeting. They head home by private plane. And then when they get home, they rub their palms together while gazing out of their New York penthouse on Billionaires Row. Great view of the park and Midtown, by the way. It's too bad they're all empty. But they stand there and they plot their next atrocity. Then they hop on the bike. And they log in as Mike Hunt. So at least they're having some fun. That would probably be a pretty stressful line of work. But, these are the people that the snobs who ride around with padded ass cheeks and helmets and, $2,000 bikes. They wish they were this elite. They're Freemasons, but they're only on like the 20th degree still. They work at Boeing, but they're not in those meetings. They're trying to get there still. There's a big difference between the people that ride on the road and the people that ride in their penthouse. So I'm sorry, but if you're a road cyclist, I'll even use your term. I won't call you a biker. I know that will offend you and your padded ass. But you are not anywhere near as cool as you think you are. If you are really cool and you want to exercise, you don't go do the Tour de France. You ride the Peloton as Mike Hunt in your penthouse, because if you show your face outside, you'll be detained by a group of Columbia students and probably strangled to death. And that's that. Those are the real players in this game. And if it's not these people, it's influencers in LA that if their BMI goes over a certain level, their funding will be completely pulled and they'll have to move back to the Midwest. So it's either those people or it's, war criminals. Either way, I'm very impressed that either of them have a funny bone in their body. We'll take what we can get. A Nashville police officer was arrested for making an OnlyFans video while on duty. Apparently, this video, this officer and someone else, I'm assuming a woman, maybe the officer is a woman, I don't know. The article didn't really contain, it's a dude officer. It's an officer that's a dude. They simulated a traffic stop in a warehouse parking lot while he was on duty. He was getting paid to serve the public. Our tax dollars went to an OnlyFans video. And which, if that's the case, shouldn't everyone get this for free? You could make that claim. I'm not going to be the one to do it, but somebody probably could. I'm assuming they did the deed in the video. The AP News article really didn't go into too much of the heavy-hitting details, the juicy details of this OnlyFans work. And I'm not going to search for it, just like last week I didn't want to search for Joe Biden's genitalia, not Joe Biden, Hunter. But I really want to know how his acting skills were and whether it was a quality piece of work. And once again, if our tax dollars went into the production of this film, does it not belong to the people? If he had good acting, if he had a good performance, I guess you could say, then is he gonna maybe get greeted by some people while he's in the can who want to sign him to a long-term deal? There's always a bright side to everything. This could launch his career potentially. I think it would be really funny for there to be someone, an ambassador from the adult film industry, come in to a prison, go up to the little phone booth that's, with the plexiglass in between, and they offer him a contract right then and there. They're hashing out dollar figures between a piece of plexiglass over payphones. This guy, the police officer who made an OnlyFans video while on the clock, we all know that he fired his third leg that day, but I just want to know if his sidearm got any action. These are the details the people need. And honestly, like I said before, if the video was made on the clock as a cop and it was made using our tax dollars, then it belongs to the public. We've talked about New York in this podcast. We've talked about Nashville. Speaking of other cities, Oklahoma City, OKC, is planning on building a 1,900-foot skyscraper. This has been in talks for a while. They have, I believe, received the permits to build this thing. They have just not received the funding yet, which I'd give it 40-60 this thing actually happens. 60% that it doesn't. That would be my guess, but what do I know? A 1,900-foot skyscraper. It would be the tallest building in the Western Hemisphere, surpassing One World Trade Center in New York City that stands at 1,776 feet, which I think if they build this thing, the American people have to do 9/11 against this. It's kind of blasphemous that the tallest building in our country, which currently stands at 1,776 feet, would be overtaken by something else. That doesn't seem right. And by the way, that's a joke. Before I get flagged on YouTube for inciting a terror attack on OKC, which they've already had before, maybe I should just take that part out. I'm not going to, though. I'm not going to neuter my own podcast. I'm going to make them neuter me. Never going to do it to myself, though. I've already been neutered once earlier this year when they took down my show about a certain man in a wheelchair who visited a certain island. They already took that one off YouTube. But nonetheless, that's, I think, all we have for today. Thanks for listening. Have a great day, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.